Now, keep in mind, before I read from my list here, keep in mind, the judge was privy to all of this because it was in the sentencing memo. Here is what the judge heard from prosecutors. On his cell phone, photos and images smoking a pipe, video smoking a bong, drinking out of a bottle of liquor, text messages referring to wanting to do some dabs, which is really, really intense marijuana, smoking, buying, and sharing weed, wants a hookup for acid. He was down for an acid trip. He wanted to do LSD and MDMA combined, which shows that in his high school and college years, he was already somewhat of a veteran, not the innocent kid he liked to portray himself as being. I'm surprised no one's questioning what about the judge who saw all of the substance use by this young man and didn't factor it in. Leo, where was the judge? Why didn't he take one and say, hey, wait a minute, young man, you lied to me.
And wait, Leo, before you answer, Leo, it gets worse. The kid's mom breaks down in court. The kid's upset. So they send him home with the mom and the attorney for, I think, a couple days before he has to show up for jail. I've never heard of such a thing.
Hey, let me sit here. First of all, the judge should be recalled, but let me put on my fake psychology hat. When the father says that the guy only had 20 minutes of action, the father of this kid, that guy tells you why this kid acted this way. He lived in an environment, as Anahita said, an affluenza environment that allowed him to act like this.
Absolutely. And Dr. Drew, it blew me away when I found out the judge was actually privy to that evidence before sentencing. Right. He knew that this man had lied. He told the court, oh, I had no experience with alcohol, no experience with drugs, I'm from a small town. He lied to the court. The judge knew that before the sentencing, and instead of increasing his sentence, instead of looking at that as an aggravating factor, he gave him a 6-month sentence, even though he lied to the court.
Dr. Drew, one other thing he lied about, he told the probation officer something completely different. He told the probation officer that they were kissing and dancing at the party, but in the police report, he said he ran into her outside. Two completely, and saying he was kissing and dancing and that she agreed to go home with him. That's what he told the probation. Told the cops something entirely different.
Dr. Drew, I may have to go up north and run against this judge for his seat.
I'll vote for you.
I may have to go up and run against him.
I'm up for this. I'll be your campaign manager.
Here's what's really ironic. He was a sex crimes prosecutor and, in fact, touts himself, maybe touts seems harsh, he actually was and is a battered women's advocate. He's been 13 years on the bench, and there's never been any controversy. You'd think of all judges, this is the kind of guy who would really understand the essence of sexual assault, campus or not.
Well, I find that kind of confusing. And, Leo, let me throw it back on you. Is it possible we're getting this guy wrong? Did something happen in the courtroom that we weren't there? And let me further add another polemic, which is, should we be judging from social media? Should we be telling judges how? Should I be telling you how to do your job as an attorney, or bullying you to do so through social media?
Yes, and I'm glad Pat came up with the information about him being a Stanford graduate. It tells you one thing: the alumni system is very powerful. That guy should have recused himself. And yes, the public has a right. We vote on judges. Judges are elected after they're appointed by the governor. And I'm telling you right now, that connection of the Stanford graduate with this judge and that student tells you right there, they were trying to deep six this. And if it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't be talking about this horrific case right now. That powerful message by the mayor and those women speaking just made me emotionally upset about this case. It's outrageous.
Yeah. It is upsetting. But again, I want to look at this from all angles. Anahita, where does it stop? What if somebody is a same color or same gender or same whatever? Judges have to recuse themselves then?
I have to say, you know, I'm absolutely disgusted with this sentence, Dr. Drew, but at the same time, I don't agree with Leo. I'm sorry, but the judge shouldn't recuse himself simply because he went to the same university as the criminal defendant in his court.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you can't, I think that's going to be the wonderful slippery slope we always talk about. And I don't like to second guess judges. I really don't. But I mean, this sentence is so far out from left field. There's absolutely, Dr. Drew, no way to justify a 6-month sentence for a crime like this. He was convicted of rape, of sexual assault by 12 jurors.
So, Pat, what happened? How did he get it so wrong?
Well, it's, you know, this is the million-dollar question, and he can't really talk about it because the case is on appeal. But it seems to me that the people who are arguing against him, in fact, one of the women, I mentioned this the other day, who's behind one of the many recall petitions, there's like 5 of them, and in one of them there's 900,000 supporters on just one of them alone. But a lot of people are saying he misapplied the law, that he factored in things that he shouldn't have factored, like this guy's promising career as a swimmer and the alcohol use. So, you know, maybe he did get it wrong this time, but who knows why?